Welcome back to the channel. Rarest coins. Today we are diving into one of the most famous and widely misunderstood coins in American coin collecting, the 1965 Washington quarter. This coin has been at the center of viral videos, unbelievable social media posts, and shocking claims saying that a 1965 quarter could be worth as much as $1.9 million. Yes, almost $2 million for a coin that millions of people have held in their hands. But is this claim real? Can a 1965 quarter truly be worth that kind of money? Why did this year suddenly explode in coin collecting circles? And what should you look for in your own change? Today, we are uncovering the full truth, from the history of the coin to the rare hidden details that make some of these quarters extremely valuable. So settle in, because this story is one of the most surprising in all of modern coin collecting. Let's start at the beginning. The Washington quarter was introduced in 1932 to honor the 200th anniversary of George Washington's birth. The design by John Flanagan became one of the most iconic pieces of American currency. For years, these quarters were made of 90% silver. But by the mid-1960s, the United States faced a major problem. Rising silver prices caused coin shortages, melting of coins, and increased production issues. As a result, in 1965, the government removed silver from the quarter entirely. The 1965 quarter was the first year of the new clad composition, consisting of a copper core with layers of nickel on the outside. This change marked the end of the silver quarter era, but it also created one of the most fascinating stories in coin collecting history. During the transition, the mint faced massive confusion and production pressure. While producing new clad quarters, there were still leftover silver planchets from 1964. And here is where the legend begins. A few 1965 quarters were accidentally struck on leftover 1964 silver planchets. These rare silver 1965 quarters are some of the most valuable modern quarters ever discovered. Only a tiny number are known to exist. Because of these rare silver errors, the 1965 quarter became legendary. Collectors began searching millions of coins hoping to find one. And from that search, countless rumors, myths, and extreme price claims spread over time. Eventually, someone made the jump to a massive number, $1.9 million. And once that number hit the internet, it spread everywhere. But here is the truth. There is no verified sale of a 1965 quarter for $1.9 million. That number is exaggerated and not supported by any professional auction record. However, the reason this rumor exists is because some 1965-era quarters are genuinely valuable, sometimes incredibly valuable. Let's break down what actually makes a 1965 quarter worth money. First, the rare silver planchet error. This is the big one. If a 1965 quarter was accidentally struck on a silver planchet, it can be worth thousands or tens of thousands of dollars. These coins weigh slightly more than clad quarters and sound different when struck. They are one of the most famous mint errors of the 20th century. Second, mint errors of other types. Off-center strikes, clipped planchets, double strikes, incorrect metal errors, and missing clad layers can all increase the value dramatically. Some of these errors can sell for hundreds or even thousands of dollars depending on the severity. Third, high-grade coins. Most 1965 quarters were heavily circulated, showing years of wear. But a perfect mint state example with flawless surfaces, full luster, and sharp detail can bring in much higher prices than a normal quarter. Fourth, historical significance. Because 1965 marks the transition from silver to clad coinage, this year holds a unique place in American coin history. Collectors love this turning point, and demand for high-quality pieces remains strong. So why do people repeat the $1.9 million story? It comes from a blend of excitement, misunderstanding, and viral exaggeration. People mix up the extremely rare silver planchet error with the idea that all 1965 quarters could be worth a fortune. Then the internet takes over, and the number grows until it reaches fantasy levels. But even though a $1.9 million sale is not real, the truth is still exciting. A 1965 quarter can absolutely be worth serious money. If you find a silver planchet version, you might be holding a coin worth thousands or tens of thousands. If you find a dramatic mint error, you could still have a valuable piece. And if you discover a flawless mint state quarter, it could be worth far more than its face value. So what should you look for? Start by checking the weight. A regular clad 1965 quarter weighs 5.67 grams. A silver error will weigh about 6.25 grams. Next, look for unusual sounds, a brighter shine, or smoother surfaces compared to normal clad coins. Examine for strange shapes, missing layers, off-center strikes, or anything that looks unusual. The thrill of the 1965 quarter is that there are still treasures out there waiting to be found. Most people have never checked their old change. Some of the rarest modern quarters ever discovered have literally come from pocket change or inherited jars of coins. Thank you for watching, and if you enjoy learning the truth behind rare coins, make sure to subscribe and turn on notifications. Comment below if you want more videos about rare errors, valuable coins, and hidden treasures that might be sitting right in your home. Until next time, keep searching, keep collecting, and I'll see you in the next video. If you want, I can also write a YouTube title, description, tags, and keywords to help this video rank highly. Welcome back to the channel. Rarest Coins. Today, we are taking a deep dive into one of the most talked about coins in the world of collecting right now. The Washington quarter from 1979 with the Denver Mint mark, the famous 1979 D quarter. You may have seen it in viral posts, eye-catching videos, and unbelievable online claims saying this coin is worth up to $1.6 million. Yes, $1.6 million for a coin that might be sitting in your change right now. But is it real? Could a common-looking quarter from the late 70s actually be worth that kind of money? What makes this coin so interesting that millions of people want to know whether they have a hidden treasure in their pocket? Today, we are breaking down the entire story. We're exploring the history of the 1979 D quarter, what makes some of them valuable, why the million-dollar rumors started in the first place, and the real numbers behind this coin. So let's jump right in. To understand the story, we have to go back to when the Washington quarter began. The design was introduced in 1932 to honor the 200th birthday of George Washington. Sculptor John Flanagan created a bold, clean portrait of Washington on the obverse, and an eagle with outstretched wings on the reverse. This design became a classic and remained on the quarter for decades, including 1979. By the time 1979 arrived, the quarter's composition had changed. It was no longer silver. Instead, it was made of copper and nickel, a clad metal blend created during the coinage changes of the mid-1960s. The Denver Mint struck the 1979 D Washington quarter, and they struck it in huge numbers. Nearly 500 million of these quarters were minted. That massive production number is one of the most important pieces of the story. It tells us that most 1979 D quarters are extremely common. Then why are people claiming that a 1979 D quarter is worth $1.6 million? The answer is simple. Viral videos, rumors, and misunderstandings about rare coins get mixed together. The internet sees a few rare coins from different years selling for tens of thousands or even hundreds of thousands, and suddenly the claim grows, the excitement grows, and before long, a completely ordinary quarter gets labeled as a million-dollar treasure. But here's the truth. No verified, professionally graded 1979 D Washington quarter has ever sold for anything close to $1.6 million. That number is not supported by auction records, expert evaluations, or numismatic history. However, that does not mean the 1979 D quarter is always worthless. In fact, some examples can bring in real money. The value of a coin depends on four main things: condition, rarity, mint errors, and demand. Let's break those down. First, condition. Most 1979 D quarters have been heavily circulated. They've lived hard lives in pockets, drawers, toll booths, vending machines, and cash registers. But every once in a while, someone finds a 1979 D quarter that somehow survived in mint state condition, with no wear, no scratches, and bright original luster. These can be worth far more than face value. High-grade examples graded by professional services can sell for hundreds, and in very rare high-end cases, more than $1,000. Second, rarity. While the coin is common overall, high-grade survivors are much scarcer. That small population is where collectors focus their attention. Third, mint errors. This is where the biggest jumps in value can happen. A dramatic mint error, such as a missing clad layer, a double strike, a broad strike, a clipped planchet, or a major off-center strike, can make a 1979 D quarter worth far more than a regular example. Some rare error coins from this year have sold for hundreds or thousands of dollars, depending on how unusual the error is. Fourth, desire among collectors. Washington quarters are popular, and people love searching for rare errors and high-grade examples from the late 70s. Oh, why the $1.6 million rumor? It usually starts when someone misinterprets a rare coin listing, confuses a coin from another year, or sees a fantasy price online that has no connection to real auctions. Once that number spreads, people begin searching their pocket change hoping to strike gold. The truth is that while a 1979 D quarter can be valuable if it has a rare error or is in exceptional condition, the million-dollar value is not supported by any known real-world sale. But here is what makes this coin exciting. Anyone can check their old change, their coin jars, their childhood collections, and possibly spot an unusual 1979 D that stands out. You might find one with a clear mint error. You might find one with razor-sharp details and full original luster. If you find something like that, then yes, you may have something worth far more than a quarter. In some cases, a few $100s or even more than 1,000. It may not be 1.6 million, but it's still an incredible return for a coin you paid 25 cents for. So here's your challenge. Check your coins. Look closely. Look for crisp edges, strong details, unusual marks, missing layers, or anything that looks different from a normal quarter. If you find something special, consider having it professionally graded. Thank you for watching. If you'd like more videos that separate coin facts from coin myths, make sure to subscribe and turn on notifications. And tell me in the comments if you have a 1979 D Washington quarter at home and if you think it could be worth something. See you in the next video. If you want, I can also create catchy titles, descriptions, and tags optimized for YouTube search. Welcome back to the channel. Rarest coins. Today we're exploring one of the most talked about coins in American coin collecting, the Washington quarter from 1966. This coin has gone viral many times, with claims saying it could be worth an unbelievable $1.7 million. Millions of people have started checking their pockets, digging into old jars, and searching through shoe boxes full of change wondering if they might have a hidden treasure. But is any of this true? Can a 1966 quarter actually be worth that kind of money? Why did this year suddenly explode across social media and coin forums? And what makes this coin different from the others? Today we're diving into the full history, real values, special varieties, and the truth behind the gigantic $1.7 million rumor. Get comfortable, because this story goes deeper than you think. Let's start by going back in time. The Washington Quarter series began in 1932 to honor the 200th birthday of George Washington. The original design by John Flanagan became an American icon, featuring Washington's profile on the front and a powerful eagle on the back. For decades, these coins were made of 90% silver, but things changed dramatically in 1965. In the mid-1960s, the United States Mint removed silver from dimes and quarters because of rising silver prices and a nationwide coin shortage. As a result, beginning in 1965 and continuing through 1966, quarters were made of copper and nickel bonded together, known as clad coinage. That means the 1966 quarter contains no silver at all. It was produced for everyday use and in enormous numbers. In fact, the mint struck well over 800 million quarters that year. That huge mintage is an important piece of the puzzle because it means most 1966 quarters are extremely common. So how did we get from common pocket change to viral claims of $1.7 million? The answer lies in misunderstanding, mislabeling, and the excitement of coin hunting. People often hear about rare coins selling for massive amounts. They see headlines about unique mint errors or ultra-rare varieties from other years, and the numbers start blending together. Pretty soon, someone posts a 1966 quarter with a strange scratch or discoloration, adds a wild price tag, and the internet spreads the story before anyone checks whether it's real. The truth is this. There is no confirmed sale of a 1966 Washington quarter for $1.7 million. Not even close. That number does not come from any auction record, any expert evaluation, or any official grading service. But that doesn't mean the 1966 quarter is worthless. In fact, the story gets much more interesting when we look at what actually makes some 1966 quarters valuable. First, condition. Most coins from 1966 were heavily circulated, scratched, worn down, or damaged. But if you find a 1966 quarter in mint state condition, with full luster, no wear, and sharp details, it becomes much more collectible. High-grade examples can sell for significant amounts, especially when professionally graded. Second, special strikes. The United States Mint did not make proof sets in 1966. However, it did produce something known as special mint sets. These sets have a different finish, often shinier and more detailed than regular circulation coins. A 1966 quarter from one of these sets, if pristine, can bring in more money than a typical coin. Third, mint errors. This is where the real excitement begins. Some 1966 quarters have dramatic mint errors such as off-center strikes, double strikes, clipped planchets, and missing clad layers. These errors can make a coin worth far more than normal. Some rare errors have sold for hundreds or even thousands of dollars, depending on how unusual and eye-catching the mistake is. Fourth, the rarity of high-level grading. A perfect example of a 1966 quarter with a top-tier grade can be surprisingly scarce. Since so many of these coins were used heavily in everyday circulation, very few survived in flawless condition. Those few can become highly desirable to collectors. Let's separate fact from myth. A 1966 quarter can be worth real money. It can be worth hundreds, sometimes more than 1,000 if it has a dramatic error or a top-grade condition. But the $1.7 million story is nothing more than a rumor that grew out of misunderstandings and viral exaggeration. Still, that doesn't mean your 1966 quarter isn't interesting. In fact, searching your coins can lead to some amazing discoveries. Here's what you should look for when checking your own 1966 quarters. Look for unusually sharp details, bright luster, or coins that appear untouched. Look for misaligned edges, missing layers, odd stamping marks, or anything that seems different from a typical quarter. If you see something that looks unusual, it may be worth having the coin examined or professionally graded. Even though a $1.7 million payout is fantasy, finding a valuable 1966 quarter is absolutely possible. And that thrill of the hunt is what makes coin collecting so exciting. A coin that's been sitting quietly in your home for decades might still surprise you. Thanks for watching, and if you enjoy videos that uncover the truth behind rare coins and viral claims, make sure to subscribe and turn on notifications so you never miss a new episode. Let me know in the comments if you've checked your 1966 quarters and what kind of coin mysteries you'd like to explore next. See you in the next video. If you want, I can also create a strong YouTube title, video description, keywords, and tags to help your video rank higher. Welcome back to the channel. Today we're diving into one of the most surprising and mysterious modern coin stories, making waves online. This time, the spotlight is on the 2021 Washington quarter, a coin so new that most people still have it in their pockets or change jars. Yet somehow, it has become the center of a viral claim that one of these quarters could be worth up to $1.4 million. Yes, $1.4 million for a coin minted just a few years ago. Where did this unbelievable claim come from? Can a modern quarter really be worth that kind of money? And is there anything special about the 2021 quarter that collectors should actually be paying attention to? Today we break down the entire story, the history behind the 2021 design, how this coin became the center of a massive rumor, what real errors and varieties exist, and what these coins are truly worth. Let's dive in. Understand this coin. We need to look back at the major change that took place in 2021. It was a historic year for the Washington Quarter Series because it marked the final year of the America the Beautiful program, a massive 10-year set of designs featuring different national parks and landmarks. These coins ran from 2010 to 2021, and collectors eagerly awaited each new release. In early 2021, the very last America the Beautiful quarter was issued, honoring the Tuskegee Airmen. This coin featured the famous aviators on the reverse and carried mint marks from Denver, Philadelphia, and San Francisco. After that coin, the mint introduced a temporary design featuring George Washington from a different artistic perspective created by Laura Garden Fraser. Her design was originally proposed in 1932, but was not chosen at the time. In 2021, this bold portrait finally made its official debut. The 2021 quarter was struck at the Denver Mint. Millions were produced and distributed across the United States. Like all modern quarters, These coins are made of a copper core coated in nickel, designed for everyday circulation. And because of the large mintage, most 2021 D quarters are incredibly common. You can still find them in change, at stores, and even in coin rolls from banks to So how does a very common, very modern coin suddenly become the subject of a $1.4 million rumor? The answer lies in a mix of misunderstandings, excitement, and viral social media trends. People see stories about rare coins selling for huge prices, often from decades or centuries ago. They see a strange-looking 2021 quarter with a mark or discoloration, and suddenly the claim becomes exaggerated. A simple error becomes a rare treasure. A minor misprint becomes priceless. Before long, a normal quarter gets labeled as $1.4 million, and the story spreads faster than anyone can fact-check it. But here is the reality. There is no official record, no auction data, and no expert evaluation confirming that any 2021 D quarter has ever sold for $1.4 million. That number does not come from the professional grading world or from any numismatic authority. It is simply a viral claim, nothing more. But this is where the story gets interesting, because even though the million-dollar claim isn't real, the 2021 D quarter does have real potential value in certain situations. First, let's talk about condition. Modern coins that come straight from sealed mint bags or mint rolls can sometimes be in flawless condition. If a 2021 D quarter is graded at the highest levels, with absolutely no scratches, no marks, and full mint luster, collectors may pay significantly more than face value. High-grade examples can sell for impressive amounts because perfect modern coins are actually harder to find than people think. Second, mint errors. This is the most exciting part of coin collecting today. Even brand new coins can have dramatic mistakes made during production. Off-center strikes, die cracks, retained interior die breaks, missing clad layers, and double strikes can happen to any coin, including the 2021 D quarter. Some of these errors can be worth hundreds, and exceptionally dramatic ones can climb into the thousands. Third, early die state coins and special varieties. Sometimes the first coins struck from new dies have sharper details, stronger lines, and more visual appeal. These are called early die state coins, and some collectors look for them specifically. While not usually worth huge money, they can be worth more than regular circulation coins. So the key point is this. The 2021 D quarter can have value, but not because it is rare in general. Its value comes from condition and rare mint errors, not from the coin itself being inherently scarce. Now let's tackle the big rumor. The idea of a $1.4 million 2021 D quarter is pure myth. There is no evidence to suggest such a coin exists. However, the rumor began because people enjoy searching their modern change for treasures. There have been real six-figure coins from other years with extremely rare errors, and people often confuse those stories with brand new coins. Social media amplifies the excitement, and before long, the myth becomes bigger than the truth. But don't let that discourage you from checking your coins. Modern quarters can still surprise you. If you find a 2021 D quarter that looks unusual, extremely sharp, deeply struck, or contains a striking mint error, it may be worth getting evaluated. Even a coin worth a few $100s is a fantastic discovery from your everyday pocket change. So should you search for the 2021 D quarter? Absolutely. Just don't expect it to bring in $1.4 million. Instead, look for the real signs of value: bright mint luster, sharp details, unusual patterns, missing layers, or misaligned strikes. Thank you for watching. If you enjoy learning the truth behind viral coin claims and discovering the hidden value in your pocket change, make sure to subscribe and turn on notifications. Comment below if you found a 2021 quarter that looks unusual or interesting. And as always, keep searching, keep collecting, and I'll see you in the next video. If you want, I can also write a YouTube title, video description, and SEO tags to boost your video's search performance. Welcome back to the channel. Today we're diving into one of the most iconic and widely collected coins in American history, the 1776 to 1976 bicentennial Washington quarter. This coin has recently gone viral again, with bold headlines claiming that one of these quarters could be worth up to $1.8 million. That number has captured the attention of millions of people who are rushing to check their change, hoping they might be holding a fortune in the palm of their hand. But is it true? Could this quarter really be worth $1.8 million? Why did this coin explode into the spotlight? And what makes some bicentennial quarters valuable while most are worth little more than 25 cents? Today, we're diving deep into the history, the surprising facts, the rare errors, the genuine high-value versions, and the truth behind the unbelievable $1.8 million rumor. Get ready, because this is one of the most fascinating coin stories ever told. To understand the bicentennial quarter, we have to step back into American history. In the mid-1970s, the United States prepared to celebrate the 200th anniversary of the country's founding. The mint wanted something special, something unique, something Americans could hold in their hands as a symbol of national pride. The result was the bicentennial coinage program, featuring special designs for quarters, half dollars, and dollar coins. These were the first circulating United States coins in decades to carry dates other than the current calendar year. The bicentennial quarter displays the dates 1776 and 1976 on the front, with George Washington's portrait just as you'd expect. But the reverse side is what makes this coin instantly recognizable. Instead of the traditional eagle, the back features a Revolutionary War drummer, a victory torch, and a ring of 13 stars representing the original colonies. This design was created by Jack L. Ahr and became one of the most beloved reverse designs in modern American coinage. Now here's something many people don't realize. Bicentennial quarters were minted in huge numbers. Hundreds of millions of these coins were made, more than enough for nearly every American to have one. They entered circulation in 1975 and 1976 and were produced by the Denver Mint, the Philadelphia Mint, and the San Francisco Mint. Most of these coins are extremely common. People save them as souvenirs, which actually made them even less rare because fewer were lost or damaged. So where did the idea of a $1.8 million bicentennial quarter come from? The answer lies in a mix of misunderstanding, viral social media posts, and the real existence of ultra-rare error coins from other years that people mistakenly associate with the bicentennial series. It is true that some rare coins have sold for hundreds of thousands or even millions of dollars, but none of those sales involve regular 1776 to 1976 quarters. Over time, the stories blended together, and suddenly the bicentennial quarter became the star of an exaggerated internet legend. That here's the truth. No regular bicentennial quarter has ever sold for $1.8 million. There is no verified sale, no professional auction, and no certified example matching that claim. However, this does not mean the coin is worthless. In fact, some bicentennial quarters are genuinely valuable, and that's where things get exciting. Let's look at the real reasons some bicentennial quarters are worth serious money. First, silver versions. Most bicentennial quarters are made of copper and nickel, but the San Francisco Mint also produced special silver bicentennial quarters as part of collector sets. These coins are 90% silver and can be worth much more than face value, especially in high-grade or in original packaging. Second, high-grade mint state coins. A flawless bicentennial quarter with strong luster and razor-sharp details, professionally graded at the highest levels, can sell for hundreds or even thousands of dollars. Finding a perfect example is far harder than most people imagine because these coins were widely circulated and often stored carelessly. Third, rare mint errors. This is where true value can appear. Bicentennial quarters with major minting mistakes can bring impressive prices. Examples include off-center strikes, double strikes, missing clad layers, clipped planchets, and dramatic die breaks. Some of these error coins have sold for hundreds or thousands, depending on how dramatic the error is. Fourth, proofs and special strikes. The San Francisco Mint also produced proof bicentennial quarters, both in clad and silver. Deep cameo proof coins in pristine condition are valuable to collectors who appreciate the incredible mirror-like finish and high detail. While the $1.8 million price tag is nothing more than a viral exaggeration, genuine value does exist. And that brings us to the most exciting part of this story. How to identify a potentially valuable 1776 to 1976 quarter in your own collection. Start by checking the mint mark. A quarter with an S mint mark was made in San Francisco. If it has a shiny, mirror-like finish, it is likely a proof coin. If it is silver, it will have a slightly different ring when tapped, and weigh more than a regular clad quarter. Look closely for errors. Off-center designs, missing layers, unusual shapes, bold cracks, or double details can all be signs of rare minting mistakes. Even if you don't find a silver version or a rare error, checking your bicentennial quarters is still a fun and rewarding experience. These coins represent a historic celebration and remain one of the most collected pieces of modern American currency. Thank you for watching. If you enjoy coin mysteries, rare coin stories, and the truth behind viral claims, make sure to subscribe and turn on notifications so you never miss a new video. Let me know in the comments if you have a bicentennial quarter at home and whether you found anything unusual. Until next time, keep searching, keep learning, and I'll see you in the next video. If you want, I can also write a strong YouTube title, description, and SEO tags for this video.